This is a mythic story. So when we take this journey, because we're going to go through all these personality types, these are archetypes, magician, priestess, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all sub-personalities that live within us. They all live within us. So these are archetypes that are universal. They represent our power. They represent our wisdom. They are us. We are all these, but we don't know that most of the time. We don't tap their power. We don't use them. So this is a journey to get in touch with your inner power, your inner wisdom, represented by these different archetypes that are here. And so it's really ultimately creating your own life story. And as I say, it's mythic. It's the hero's journey, which is a mythic story. And you've got to remember about the word myth, M-Y-T-H, which is an acronym for M, make, Y, yourself, T, the, H, hero. Myth, make yourself the hero, M-Y-T-H. So this is the hero's journey. But a lot of times to live the hero that we are, we need to break free of our ordinary social self. I'm James, or that's John, or you're Susan, or whatever. Those are our names we grew up with. And we know those, and they can limit us from living our destiny of fortune. So we take on a mythic name, a heroic name, the name of a god or a goddess, and that gives us so much more power. And that's why we want to use this in the class. So we don't go by our regular social self names. We're going by the mythic name so that we can create this new journey. And so this is this is the ultimate tarot. Most people with cards, they think of fortune telling, and it's kind of intellectual, and this card means that, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, tarot can be very much an intellectual exercise. It's strictly mental. And for a lot of people, it's just novelty. A lot of decks are novelties and all that. And for entertainment purposes or psychic purposes or whatever, the original tarot is a map. It's a map of life, a roadmap that we have to follow. It's a roadmap of actually being the cards. It's not about just knowing the cards, it's being the cards and being full to fortune. And then you will live your destiny. I guarantee if we all activate these archetypes in us, you will be very far along the roadmap or the map of life of living your destiny. So it's about being these cards, not about just knowing them. So this is a very strong activation class. This is not about, we're just going to talk about this card. No, I mean, you can read books about that. You can take a lot of classes. This is about doing. This is a transformation journey we're on, which means we have to do something to be these archetypes. So we're going to do a lot of exercises in our class, like our sessions like this, where we take on the particular archetype of the month. And then we be that with different kinds of questions of how to be the magician, or how to be the fool child, or how to be the empress or the emperor, so that we actually become them and tap into their power. So it's an extraordinary journey. It's most people, it's from, grave to tomb. They just want to live an okay life and die. This is a class for people who want to take the great adventure of life, on the great mythic adventure of knowing yourself, discovering yourself, and being all of yourself. And that's what this is about. And by the way, when we're only using 11 cards here, but each of these cards have other cards associated with them. Like the Emperor number 4 has all the number 4s associated. So actually, when we do these 11 cards, we're actually studying maybe 60 or 66 of the 78 cards. We're not just doing 11 cards. We're doing a magician card and all the 4 aces and all the so-called family cards that are magician type. So in effect, we're learning the entire deck. We're not just learning the deck, we are becoming the deck. And so that's one of the roadmaps of this whole course, is to live your destiny, know yourself, and be all of you and who you are meant to be, your life purpose. Incredible thing. Now, the other aspect of this course is as a map. It is a map, but it's a manifestation map. It's a map that if you access these archetypes, there are resources. I mean, they are our inner talents and gifts. They're our magic. And if we tap these, channel these archetypes in us, we have all the principles of life to be successful at anything in life. Activating these 11 archetypes is the map of manifestation, whether you want to be rich, you want to find a soulmate, you want to be enlightened, you want to be healthier, whatever you might want. If you apply any of these archetypes, to any goal of your life and utilize the principles of the magician, the principles of the priestess and the empress and the chariot and the hermit and all of these, you have all the we call the gold rules of life. But because there are rules, they are us. This is not some outside map that says go do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 principles of whatever. The map is you. This is a psychological map of success, a map of safety. So it's about just simply being these and activating them. So in this course, you can just be very general about the whole classes. I just want to know more about myself and utilize these principles and find my destiny, which is that's enough. But some people like to use this class to actually create a specific project. Like somebody might want to write a book, or to get this done, or achieve that goal, whatever it might be. And you can use this map, this manifestation map through the archetypes to achieve that. So you've got options here. Or each month we're going to go to a different archetype. So maybe this month I'm going to work on my relationship life, my love life. Or this month I'm going to work on my creativity. Or this month I'm going to work on money, or whatever it might be. You can do that as well. So, I mean, you have a lot of different kinds of goals to use through this manifestation map, which you just don't find psychologies of success. This is the psychology of success. Most psychologies are about being healthy and mentally healthy, healthy and emotionally and all that, which is all great. But this is more about not just that, but how to use your inner selves, these archetypes, to achieve whatever goals you may have in life. So it's quite unique in that respect. So these, people don't realize tarot, particularly Voyager, is a map. It's a road map. It shows us how to do things and how to get to places. Most classic old tarot is fortune telling. It's psychic thing. It's going to see my future, what's going to happen. Hell, I don't think anybody knows. I call it prediction fiction, but we can look at the future, but the future is the probable future. And who makes the future? It's not a piece of paper. It's not the card. It's ourselves. So this is fortune creation. We fulfill the prophecy. It's all about ourselves here. And so we are totally activating ourselves by this process. And we're activating with action these different archetypes by, number one, the exercise we do in this kind of class situation. We have this online like tonight. And we do it also through the month. We pick cards a lot of times. We always pick cards. That's kind of a great fortune habit. It's a way of accessing, again, the actions to live out that fortune archetype that we're working with. And so what we're interested in order to live out these archetypes, is activate them, but get in touch with, meet them, relate to them, get in touch with them inside of you. So every class we're going to do has a meditation, a guided visualization. And in the guided visualization, we're going to go inside and meet my inner fool, which is always a fun, scary thing, or meet my inner magician, meet my inner hierophant, meet my inner lover, and all these different archetypes, and get into an active relationship with them. And people, again, in the tarot world, they're only doing paper tarot. I mean, they don't even look deeper than the symbols on a piece of paper, a card. The card is only the beginning. It's just the beginning of an activation of going deep. They're keys into your inner self that is here. So we're going to meet our inner archetypes. We're going to take exercises that are real, exercises that represent that archetype. And we're going to create, one of the most important things out of this course is creating a habit or habits. I mean, if people are interested in change, transformation, realization, whatever, fulfillment, In order to do any kind of change in life or transformation, you got to know the nuts and bolts. And the nuts and bolts of transformation are habits. We all live habits. We are a collection of habits. So and a lot of our habits are not particularly functional. They're counterproductive or dysfunctional. So what we want to do is create what we call fortune habits. So we get into taking on these new ways of thinking and new ways of actually being, new behaviors, because it's when you start to activate these new habits, that's when change is going to happen. Otherwise, it's a lot of talk. Well, I'm going to do whatever, and a lot of people are going to do these resolutions, which are fine, but usually most people quit their resolutions very quickly because they don't activate any kind of a habit, which is a daily, very small steps, baby steps to do this, do this, do this, do this. So we really want to create these habits, which is not the sexiest term. You know, it's like, oh, habit, you know, but it's the real deal. That's how change happens. That's how we create our lives, is through these habits. And so we want to develop that. So there's a lot going on. And what's really great about our group, our tribe here, our fortune circle, it's a fortune circle, is in order to achieve anything in life that requires some kind of personal transformation or personal growth, because this is a growth process. This is personal growth, potentiating all of you. That's what it's about. It's hard to do it, if not impossible, to do it alone. It's so hard to do it alone, and it's no fun. So the idea is that we're all here for each other. I mean, this is a support group. It's kind of like on the model of a lot of recovery programs. I mean, recovery programs are people who are alcoholics or they're addicted to this or whatever. Well, in a sense, we're all addicted to the status quo. We're addicted to the comfort zone, what we know, the safe zone, the security zone. I know who I am and I'm comfortable in that and not going to change. That's an addiction. And so, but in order to break that addiction and break out and become the hero you're meant to be and live out your mythic name, you need people to help you. And that's what this fortune circle is brilliant about. So it's not about just me talking about whatever. It's not about Callisti, who knows the tech stuff, and Morpheus as well. It's about you. It's about us. And what that really comes to play is during the course, we have a place where every day you can pick a card for you know, that particular archetype of the jour, or the archetype of the month, if you will. And we can really talk to each other on this fortune circle. And I love it. I mean, you can, and because you're meeting here some really important people in your life. I mean, we're all part of this tribe. We're all voyagers in a way, and we're all united here because we could be a zillion other places watching some game or doing whatever, right? But we are here. And that's what makes this group really, really special. And what's cool about this online sessions, and we're going to do it tonight, is we break out. We break out where we actually talk to each other. You know, like all of a sudden I'm going to meet now Hiyari from Tokyo. You're like, wow. And you're going to talk about stuff. And you know, it's so fascinating to share yourself with other people. And that's what we need. We need connection. We need support. And that is such, you know, even the Buddha said, everybody has their own path to enlightenment. That's true. You sit in enlightenment in meditation. That's a personal path. Yes. But like the Buddha said, and everybody needs a Sangha. Sangha is a Sanskrit word for your tribe, your support group, your circle, your circle. And that's what's just so valuable about this whole process, is having that kind of circle. So, I mean, this is it's what I love about this is it really is a journey, but it's a powerful journey. It's meant to make you much more aware of yourself. This is a growth practice. This is a spiritual practice. And we will learn, by the way, the whole Voyager deck. I mean, the whole deck is online here, which is a brilliant thing that Callisti made for us. And so we're going to, Callisti, actually, can you put up the 11 archetypes, the Fool to Fortune? You got that circle available for us here? Can we see that for a second? So I think that's a kind of an overview of this class. It's experiential. It is meant to be experiential. And we use a lot of, like in the meditation, when we meet the archetype in us, through meditation, that is a Jungian psychology. Great Carl Jung psychology talked all about archetypes. This guy's a heavy dude. And all they did was do what we call active imagination. Active imagination, AI, which is what we're going to do in our meditations each session, is meet the magician. And the magician is us. Meet the priestess, and so on and so forth. And that is just so much fun. So I think you're going to love this. I love it. This is the most fun thing I do. I just think this is the name of the game. If you want to learn tarot, if you want to learn life, if you want to be successful, if you want to be whole, if you want to live the life you're meant to live, go fool to fortune. And of course, the power of this process is the power of the picture, the power of the symbol, the power of synchronicity, the power of surprise, all these things. When you pick a card, like, oh my God, wow, you know, and that is what really activates and moves our subconscious. So this is a empowerment path that we are on, and it is exciting, and it's adventurous, it's explorative. So thank you guys for sharing this with us. I'm excited.